Hey, MOMnation. Welcome to our From the Heart podcast, where we share inspirational stories, useful information, and we discuss a wide variety of women-related topics. While you're listening to this episode on your favorite podcast platform, please subscribe to our channel and rate us so that we can get this information out to the moms that need to hear it. If you'd like to join the conversation, we are at MOMnation USA. That's our handle on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We hope you enjoy the show. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of From the Heart, where we talk with inspirational women that have risen from the ashes or have something very, very special, heartfelt, and vulnerable to share. And today we have one of our very special MOMnation members. Hello, Ashley. How are you?
Hey, good.
This girl is a top contributor. She is out there interacting, helping out our moms, and I am so excited to have her with us today. So let's hop right into it, Ashley. Let's go back, right? I know sometimes I feel like it's pulling the cobwebs a little bit when I think back to before I was a mom. Like, did that even exist? Like, I don't know, you know. But let's think back to before you were a mom, pregnant with your first. Tell me a little bit about your journey into moms groups, because you weren't always a part of moms groups, right?
Right. Honestly, my first moms group was through MOMnation. It was
Oh, really?
actually a mom meetup, and I had just started Color Street nails, and MOMnation was a place where I could actually do vendor events in downtown Mesa,
Nice.
and I became a member. I started joining and having all my friends join. So it's been part of my life for 7 years, kind of fell off, came back. I do belong to different mom groups through the church. I have like MOP. Um, and I just find that MOMnation is my place because it's from young to old and every generation of kids. And it's just the support.
Yeah, I love that too. And side note, one thing that I love about our group is I feel like we are focused. Yeah, we have kids and yeah, we do stuff with the kids, and that's kind of why we're there, so to speak. But it's
Right.
become more of like a focus on the mom and the woman who she is. And
Right.
I love that because we're all individuals, even though we have made tiny humans. And, sometimes we might feel like our real true selves have been lost in that. I know I've struggled with that quite a bit in the last 10 years. I just have one, he's 10, and I'm kind of like coming to their surface now. Like, oh, Katie is a real person. She actually does have likes and things that she wants to do with her life that don't involve momming. And I
Right.
feel like that is a focus in that group too, which I really love.
Yes.
So tell me about when I know from talking with, obviously I talk with a lot of moms like day in and day out, right? And I've heard several times over and over, I was really hesitant to join the group because I just thought moms groups were a bunch of drama. Or, I've got a lot of social anxiety. Or I feel like people are just really judgmental and I don't want to put myself out for that. Did you struggle with any of those feelings before you became a member, or how kind of was that for you?
I did. As a first time mom, it was kind of like a power struggle to step out of um that realm of like getting into things, wanting to go to events. Um it was or interacting, I was the sideline mom that was like, I'll just read. I'm gonna sit here. Um, but now having three kids, I have a 6 year old, I have an 8 year old, and then I have my 10-month old. I feel that my motherhood now, having a 10-month old, I'm not a pro at it. I don't think anybody is, but I
Ever?
feel more connected, more so because I can have the conversations. I feel for the moms that are vulnerable, and communicate. It's an outlet. It's somewhere where you can have a community. I mean, it's like our grandmothers always said to us, you have you need your tribe, you need your community. And how else are you supposed to find that if you don't be vulnerable and interact? So I think that was my hard part, is getting past that vulnerability of connecting and making relationships with other moms.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Something that I've heard time and time again, and I've even I feel this too on nearly a daily basis, is it's comforting, even like you said, just to watch, even if you don't interact or you don't say anything or you don't contribute to the conversation. It's comforting to me to know I'm not alone. Like there's people that are feeling the feelings that I'm feeling. There's people that, maybe also feel stuck in whatever portion of their life they feel stuck in. And oh, I can relate to that too. The feeling of being alone and just being singular in your stuff is really lonely and sad, at least in my experience. And so I feel like us bringing, which I love that the moms are so cool and so open and so vulnerable in our group, but us bringing those conversations to the table, those even maybe some of the harder conversations, I, for me, it's super fulfilling. Do you share in that at all? Or have you seen that? Or have you grown from that?
I have grown from that, and I've also seen that. I think bringing in, mainly for me, I like to bring in my friends that I know have related to certain situations. Mm-hmm. So when I hear somebody speaking on that, I like to tag them. I like to send them a link to let them know that, hey, you're not alone and this is a place. Because I personally have just started working from home and left my nursing career. So I, it's hard because the moms that do work, they don't see it. And it doesn't always constantly come on your feed. Right. And if it doesn't come on your feed, how are you supposed to know? So I think the things that I do catch are hit or miss. And I may not be catching what my other friends are catching. But when I do, it just feels right to kind of share that. And I think that MOMnation is really great for that, because there are so many conversations going on. And the podcasts, I mean, when you hold podcasts, it's great. It's something that somebody can go back to and watch.
Yeah. I've gotten a lot of feedback from those, and there's two in particular. So we have a few, but there's two in particular that I feel like have the most depth to them. And those are the two that I do with the counselors. So I have one that's just kind of more female, woman focused, like focusing on the mom. We talk more about mom stuff and kind of parenting stuff. And then we have the one that's more focused, she's a couples counselor, so she's more focused on marriage and relationships, and relationships, not just with your spouse, but with your in-laws, and kind of that whole greater family thing. And right. I will get, kid you not, I get at least a message a week from somebody who I may or may not know that says, hey, I caught such and such episode the other day, and it really spoke to me. I just want to thank you for putting that out there. And that just warms my heart. And I'm so grateful to those ladies, because they volunteer their time. Like, they're not getting paid for that, and they volunteer every single month. They are there like clockwork. It's been 2.5 years that we have been doing it. And it's just, and they feel in this, the same way that I do, where it just warms their heart. Like, they just want to help. And they've proven to be helpful as far as we know. So I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great. And I love it because, again, I don't see all the conversations that happen as far as messages. So, I think Charlie put this in the front seat and he got it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Can I stay here?
Hi.
This is Derek. Derek is home today, just resting.
Derek. Not feeling well today?
Yeah. Can you go check on Sissy for me? Or should I bring you in here? Yeah, go check on Sissy. Oh, it's all right. I think the
nice
greatest
to meet
thing.
You, Derek.
Can you go get Sissy? Good job. Um, I think the greatest thing is because I don't see the conversation. And, you know, a lot of the times when there's conversations had, it's great to be able to interact with the podcast and kind of share those for other moms, that are sharing or going through situations. Um, and mental health. The mental health is big. I mean, that's mainly I was in that. That's my industry. It's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, family practice and mental health was big.
And,
Hmm.
I personally don't feel like it's talked about enough. I don't feel like it's on the table enough. I feel like there's still um, sort of a sense of, I don't know if shame's the right word. Um,
Right.
but people are maybe ashamed of, hey, this is, hi, Derek, maybe ashamed of, hey, this is what I have going on. And it's that alone feeling again, right? I don't know if
Right.
I feel comfortable sharing it because am I the only one? And then am I the vulnerable person in the room that has something going on that nobody else can relate to? I can,
Right.
I can relate with that feeling 100%. And, I think we're getting better, and I'd love to hear your take on it since, you're in the industry. I think we're getting better as a society as a whole, and it's coming, the conversation's coming to the table more and more, and it's becoming more normal to see a therapist, right?
Yeah.
But do you also feel that it's just not on the table enough, or what's your stance on that?
I feel that it's on the table. I feel that so many, I mean, I've worked through that, and I've worked through that through, codependency classes and working on boundaries and building that from postpartum. I mean, I had postpartum after my second, and it's hard as a parent, or even just as an individual. I mean, I have friends that have struggled with their teen kids, and you know, it's it's a stigma. It wasn't talked about even when I was young. It was looked at as, shameful almost. And I feel that it's more open now. And it's not as frowned upon to seek help. And I think that the help is there um, freely. I just think that so many don't have the resources um, to take that opportunity or that leap of faith, really, um, to trusting different groups, different moms.
Mhm.
You have to build that trust, and especially me working in healthcare for so long and helping in that, you have to build that trust with a patient, let alone a friendship. I mean, it's hard for people to trust others, let alone with our kids. I mean, that's
Yes.
one thing that most people are like, nope. If you tell me how to parent, I'm out.
Yeah.
If you tell me how to, if control is a hard thing for a lot of people, and I think if we can set that aside, it's so nice to have. That's why I love watching the podcast and stuff. I tried to. Yes, please go take it over there. I love you.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you brought that up. And I'm glad that you said the piece about some people may not have access to that resource. And I feel like that's a lot of some people's. And where the podcasts are definitely not a replacement for individual therapy, I feel like if you can learn something, if you can learn something about yourself, if you can learn something about why you might be behaving the way that you're behaving, why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, then you're a step further, right? And
Right.
that's what we're hoping that these episodes provide is, again, not a replacement, but gosh, if you can learn something, that just makes my day. If we teach something or share something or share an experience that we've had that puts a light bulb in somebody's head and really helps them in their life, I mean, there is no better than that to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Connecting. It's the connection for myself, um, I have friends like my best friend, Jasmine. She's always
Yes.
in there, my little
Love
wing
her.
woman. those, it benefits. I mean, we all have our doctors, our providers that we go to or we seek to. But that community is so nice to hear that it's not just one provider or one, lawyer dealing with those kind of things, or one parenthood going through that same struggle. We all are in the thick of it. So it's kind of nice to be able to vent and let loose and kind of get other people's perspectives, and especially moms, because it is hard to be vulnerable at times. But when you are, that's when all the good stuff comes out, I feel like.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, I'm not going to say that our group is perfect by any means, because nothing is perfect. But I think the members that we've attracted do a pretty darn good job of responding to questions that could be triggering or could be, something that is a sensitive topic, but they seem to be, for the most part, really cool, coming from a place of wanting to help and give value. They're polite. I see some pretty nasty stuff in some other groups, and people just literally slaughter each other online. And that's just gross and like icky to me. And that's another reason why I really love communicating and being in our group. I spend the most time when I'm on social. I'm usually in there, or I'm like posting stuff for my business, one or the other.
Right.
But I enjoy the conversations in there. And I don't feel like if I say something that somebody, not everybody agrees on everything. We don't have the same views, values, mindsets, filters, you know what I mean? And I feel really comfortable speaking my mind in there in a polite and way, coming from a place of value, coming from a place of wanting to help, of course, not trying to offend anybody ever. But I feel really comfortable just dropping my opinions.
Right. Yeah, having the fun conversations, it's, every now and then you're going to get a conversation that doesn't hit everybody, and that's okay. I mean, our personal jokes between Jasmine and I, or you and Ash, it may not hit everybody, but it's funny. It's already out in social media, so it's kind of fun to continue those and have that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I love that too. And your relationship with Jasmine is so dang cute. I love you guys so much. And I can see it, how you kind of play off of each other. And I'm sure you're giggling to death because you've got the inside stuff. You know what I mean? Just kind of like my Ash and I do. That's really funny. As far as navigating MOMnation, can you speak a little bit to your perspective on that? Maybe if you have some tips for our viewers. I know there's a lot of stuff in there. We do our very, very best to organize it in such a way so that everyone can, we've got that direct me, right, where everything's kind of listed. So everybody can connect to the pieces of the group that they wish to connect to. I always love getting an outside perspective to that, though, because when you're in the thick of it and you're doing it and you're putting it together, you're like, well, this is easy because you know everything.
Right.
And I realized that Ash and I are the only ones that know everything in the group.
Right.
Not everything in life, but you know what I mean? Like about the group and where stuff is kept and whatnot.
I had to learn that. Definitely it has changes. Facebook has its quirks because there are things that disappear. Main thing that I find, I mean, as easy as it can be, of course, you still have Facebook does all of their little quirks, but
Yes.
getting the notifications, setting the notifications was big for me. And then interacting. Once you start, I feel like if you've gone to a What's What Wednesday and you've interacted on a What Wednesday, which you guys go over everything in that, it's so easy from there to actually find everything, the challenges to anything, and just actually contributing is big, because once every time I've won, I've put that back, paid that forward, and once you pay that forward we did the school backpacks, and
Yes.
once you pay that forward, I think that it constantly pops up and it's always in your feed. And interacting with the What's What Wednesday kind of keeps me in tune with, hey, what's going on, where to find stuff. Ash is amazing at helping you find that.
I know.
Communicating that with you guys, just constantly. If I have questions or something pops up and I can't find it, I've been able to message you and MOMnation, and you guys respond so quickly. So I haven't had issues. I know that others may have. It might be hard to navigate, but setting that notification, looking for the, just commenting on a post that you want to come back to too. Like I've noticed that like people will post something. I'm like, oh, I'm following. Like, hey, I want to know that too. So I'll just put following so that I can constantly come back to that. Another big thing is searching the name. So like me with the backdrops that I started, when Jessica won, I immediately like tagged her name and I'm like, okay, so how do I keep coming back to you? And or any of the posts, I just constantly go to the hourglass and or not hourglass, magnifying glass.
The magnet,
and yeah, and type in like whose name. If you did a post, Katie, type in challenge post. Those help to get back to where I wanted to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I know Facebook is crazy. Trust me, I'm dealing with something right now that I explained to you before we hopped on. It's a little frustrating, but we'll get over it. The featured section too is pretty helpful. So usually we'll throw in, I mean, we're not perfect people, but we'll throw in kind of the important stuff in there in hopes that that makes it easier for people too, because on a good day, I mean, we could have 100 posts in there a day,
Yeah.
So
there's a lot. I mean, and or Facebook does the random, you've asked us to, hey, interact with the new moms, welcome the new moms. Facebook has pulled those and are like, oh, you can't have interaction. So there's quirks to it. But still just trying, showing up and trying and being there for others is my main way of kind of contributing or listening.
And I love that you're there. We absolutely love seeing your name pop up for sure. And Mark, if you're listening, quit messing with Facebook. We're over it. Okay. So last question that I have for you, you had brought up giveaways. So I know that you participated in them as far as your generosity in offering them, which we really appreciate always. Thank you for that. And I know that you have been the recipient on a few occasions.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about that? What attracted you to that? How do you get involved? That kind of thing.
Mainly I like contributing. And it didn't work out. There's been many times where I've been on the top 10 and not had any, but I don't know if that's necessarily like where it's at with it, but I did win 2 in a row, I think November and I think it was November and it was October and November, I believe.
Yeah, they were back to back
when you did the cash giveaway. So I've been on the cash giveaway and I've given back to the backpack drive. I've given when we did the when we did families for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's big because I wasn't going to win that money one way or another, but it was nice to be able to have that. I have won Color Street nails. Eileen had those, and that was actually something that Jasmine won, and then I ended up winning. So there are things that like come around. I still haven't gotten to use. I did win game showroom.
Yes, the battle
so
yes, that's fun, by the way.
So we definitely want to go. We've been trying, but everybody is in graduation. It seems like, from October till now, it's just been nonstop. So I'm hoping to use that hopefully soon. And can't wait because I hear so many cool things about it.
It's way cool. So we did
Yeah.
a little like team building for our networking group there.
Aw.
And we had so much fun. And I had such a blast that I told all my friends about it. So then one of my friends did a birthday party there and invited some of his family, which we all hang out. So I know his family. And we had an absolute blast. So you're going to have a great time when you cash that one in for sure.
That will be fun.
Yes. So giveaways have been something that we have been doing for a couple of years now and are really just in this regular sort of flow with them where we do them every month. Sometimes it's there's 2 a month, sometimes more, depending. Like if we do a challenge, for instance, we did the credit repair challenge. We did the the fan favorite is the declutter challenge. We do that every January. I think we had 200 participants in that one. And somebody actually asked me to do it again in June. And I'm like, oh boy, it's a lot of work.
Spring cleaning, summer cleaning.
Well, and it's fun to have that motivation, right? So the reason why I love the challenges so much, that's a big favorite for me, is because I don't like feeling alone. And if I need to tackle a big project like, my master closet or whatever, like whatever it is, then I want to do that and know somebody else is doing it right along with me. And you can kind of like share that energy between each other and kind of gain momentum off of each other. And that's a place that I really thrive. So the whole reason we have those is me. Because I want them.
Helps
But
you
anyway,
accountability.
exactly. It's funny because I always tease when I talk to my clients and stuff, they're always like, oh, we've been living here for 5 years and we meant to get to XYZ project, but it never happened. Girl, I still have boxes that are packed from 2.5 years ago from when I moved that I haven't even unpacked yet in my closet. Like it's not a lot of them, but there are a few. And yeah, so projects just, it takes time. There's a lot of stuff that happens during the day, especially for a mom that take our attention, so.
Or when you have another child and you clean out the spare room. So yes, I shared everything. I was like, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah. Good times. And it's nice too, because what I saw happen during this last declutter challenge was some people being like, well, I need XYZ. And
yes,
this other one's like, well, I'm just going to toss it. So why don't you come and get it?
yes.
And so there was some recycling of things and some things got a new home. And I think that's totally great.
Yes. Yeah, I love that.
Helpful on both ends. So you came into the group as a Color Street stylist. Can't even believe it's been 7 years, but I believe you. And now you're doing something different. So you know how we love to support local mom-owned businesses. And so I would love for you to just tell us a little bit about what you're doing now.
So I'm not necessarily doing a business, I would say. I don't want to have a business, but I started because I have a 10-month-old. I have started, as you can hear her, I have started backdrop photos. So like a photo booth. I did them many times over with my with the boys. I'm actually grab her.
Yeah.
Come here, you. Come say hi.
Oh, she's getting so big. Look at those. Hi, sweetheart. Big old smile.
She
Hi,
is a ham. This is Callie, and Callie does do our little photo booth stuff all the time.
She's the model. She's the poster child.
She is the poster child. So are my 2 boys. But I started those at the Armor Foundation for Kids. And it is somewhere where you can come, bring your animals, bring your kids, and do some photos. You take your own photos. I help take the photos a lot of the times with just your iPhone. And it allows then, there you go, Callie.
She's like, we're done here. I'm hungry.
Yeah. So a lot of the times they'll take their I'll take their phone and take a bunch of photos and you can edit them. And so it's just fun because we did just set up some Mother's Day ones. We did Easter. I started it just after Halloween. So it was actually like I didn't do fall. So I did and we didn't do Christmas. So I think it was like January when I started it. So February, and then we did some Easter and now Mother's Day.
I love it. I love it. So
Yeah.
if somebody wants to connect with that, what's the best way for them to do it?
They can just reach out to me personally, just Ashley Parker, and I can get them in and do some photos. So anytime, I'm usually home, and so obviously weeknights usually is great. It's all indoors, or a lot of the times we do the blood drives, and on weekends there's somebody there. So either Jen or myself, and we're happy to help.
Oh, that is awesome. Is it okay if I post your Facebook link here in the show notes? And then that way, if somebody wants to get in touch, okay, awesome. That's what I'll do. Make it real easy for our audience to just click and connect. Well, thank you again for being with me. I am so appreciative of your time. And thank you to Callie and Derek.
Yes, Derek's in the other room, and Callie is always happy to jump on. Aren't you? You're tired.
She's adorable. I can't believe how big she got.
Mwah.
My gosh.
She crawled all over the place now. So she's trying to pull up on things. That's why she knocked over our feed. She's like, oh, I'm just going to pull up on this table. Yeah.
All right, friend. Well, it looks like she is ready to do something different. So bye, Callie. We'll see you later.
Bye.
If you guys want to check out any of our previous episodes, hop on over to our YouTube channel. It is at MOMnation USA. That's our handle. Scroll down just a little bit. You will see the From the Heart podcast playlist. If you'd like to listen in your earbuds, maybe you walk a lot, maybe you bike a lot, whatever the case may be, on your favorite podcast platform, do a quick search for MOMnation Talk Radio, and there you can connect with us as well. I hope you have a wonderful day, Ashley. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye, honey.
Bye.